Yoho! We're in Yoho National Park right now. Tegan fell asleep on the walk from the car to the lake. Behind me is Emerald Lake. It's our first little glimpse through the trees, and it looks calm and emerald and reflective and just absolutely gorgeous.
We're now here on the far side of the lake, and down here in this direction is where we started from. And it says that this little section here is an avalanche path. I guess they get frequent avalanches in the same spot every year. We're about halfway around the lake now. And we're not sure if we can do the complete loop, but we're gonna go as far as we can.
Oh, you're okay. So we took a little break, reapplied some sunblock, enjoyed this view. Now we're off.
Hi.
Bye.
So here's yet another view on the shore of Emerald Lake. We're on the return trip back to the parking lot on the other side. As you can see here, we are approaching the avalanche zone, which we commented on when we had a view of it from the other side of the lake. First we saw these people up here and we thought there was a bear. Normally when you see a crowd of people or traffic, it means there's some kind of wildlife worth seeing. And here's a view of it from the bottom. Alright, so we just entered the Icefields Parkway from Banff, and this is supposedly one of the most scenic drives in the world. It goes from Banff to Jasper, and this is just the beginning of it. We haven't really seen anything too spectacular yet, although as I say that, right up here it looks pretty nice. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. We're gonna do a couple stopping points. It's like a 2-hour drive without stopping, but you're supposed to take all day. We are gonna stop halfway on the road and do a hike and camp, hopefully. We don't have anything booked in advance, so hopefully we can get a spot. And then tomorrow the plan is to continue from that point on to Jasper. And we're just arriving at the viewpoint of Peyto Lake. How is it, Chris?
It's pretty cool. Crowded. The best place I think is to jump over that fence down there.
Look at that. Alright, right now we are on a hike to Sheffrin Lake. This is 3.5 kilometers one direction, so 7 kilometers round trip. It's about 5 miles. This is going to be the longest hike on the trip. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to do something like this because of Tegan, but as you can see right now, she's doing pretty well. And she also hasn't napped yet, so we're banking on her napping for a good chunk of this. We have our bear spray on us. Because of the lack of hikers, we have to be a little bit more careful about that. So we're gonna make some noise as we're walking, scare the bears away. And we have our spray if all else fails, and our fists if that fails. Okay, so we're now at the junction here for 2 separate lake destinations, 2 separate hikes. This way is to Sheffrin, which is what we're doing. This way is to Cirque Lake. Some people do both lakes in one day. That might be a little bit too ambitious for us. So we're gonna start with Sheffrin, which I think is probably the better of the 2, just going based on the reviews I've read. And yeah, we're about almost halfway through. Not quite, but that first part was a bit uphill. I think this part will be more flat. I have a topographic map in the phone, so that's helping out. So yeah.
Woo.
Onward. Right now we're about 5,700 feet. So we've come across this little clearing, and we have a nice glimpse of some peaks and a glacier up there. Pretty nice looking. It's interesting that we've seen a lot more glaciers in this area and in Banff than we did in Glacier. Go figure.
It's Uncle Chris! We made it! Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. We did it!
Woo!
We did it!
So this is our view. We're having a little picnic on the shore of Chefren Lake. Back here is House Peak. And up there is White Pyramid, which we have been seeing as we've been walking towards them.
Probably wasn't the prettiest hike we've been on, but it was cool because it was probably the most challenging one we went as far as terrain on the trail itself. So it's kind of fun to have a little bit of a challenge navigating the mud and the roots of the trees and things like that.
And it was the longest individual hike we've done. Actually, it will be. We've only done half of it so far. Now we have to go back.
Speaking of snacks, that's all she cares about.
And we also have this place completely to ourselves. We don't see another person at all. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, good girl. Oh, way to share, guys. That's so sweet. Yeah.
So we just left our campsite and it's very early. It's 39 degrees. My hands are numb from packing up the tent and my feet are numb. And I was just saying everything else is uncomfortably warm. We're now driving the rest of the Icefields Parkway. We drove like the first part of it yesterday on the way to the campsite, and now we're driving the rest. This is most of the distance of it. And the scenery is immediately picking up where it left off yesterday. So yeah, off to Jasper. Lake. Here's the Athabasca Glacier. We're now, by the way, in Jasper National Park officially, and this is one of the more famous sites of it. Looks pretty awesome. Maybe the biggest glacier we've seen so far, at least up close.
We are at Athabasca Glacier. I can't say that. Say that 3 times fast. Athabasca. We were considering going up it with a truck, and it costs over $100. We were thinking about it, but we weren't sure how that would go with Tegan.
Here's one of the trucks driving on the glacier. That's what we could have been in. There's a bunch of people up there with some more trucks. And just to give you a sense of the scale, that's the whole glacier. Wow, that's pretty awesome. This is our final night of camping. It's not night yet, but we're setting up our last campsite. Are you over camping?
I had a hard night last night. Tegan kept waking me up and stealing my blankets, and I'm nursing her and she kept biting me, so that was pretty tough. So last night, if you ask me, I was over it. But before that, and now that I'm a little bit calmer, I am not over camping. I like it a lot. If only I could take a really warm shower and wash my clothes, I'd be good to keep going. But things are getting a little funky. So I would like to shower.
A little over sleeping on my sleeping pad every night, but I want to keep it going if I get to keep doing cool hikes and cool views every day. So no, I'm not over it yet.
Comes with the territory.
Yep.
I'm not over camping at all. It's been a little cold at night, particularly last night, and I think 3 nights ago it was very cold. We woke up, had to warm ourselves up in the car. Also, Kristen and I are sharing our sleeping bags with Tegan, so it's a little bit harder to actually stay warm in there, but you know, no regrets. So Chris, now that we've done 2 world-class drives, which do you prefer, going to the Sun Road in Glacier or the Icefields Parkway here?
I will take going to the Sun Road. I just think it was way more epic as far as more stops where you want to pull off the road and just like take it in. It was beautiful today too, but not even close in that comparison.
I think going to the Sun Road. I think. Yeah, I would say going to the Sun Road. I liked it more. Although yesterday and today's views were just absolutely gorgeous. I felt like a lot of times there were streams and rivers that were just completely lush and turquoise and fun and like just beautiful in color.
I also prefer going to the Sun Road. I think it's basically like equally as pretty in all directions, but there was one section just past Logan Pass on the west side of it that was the climax of both roads for me. That was the best part.
So right now we're headed to Mount Edith Cavall. It was not far off our campsite to turn down this road, but once we turn down, it's 17 kilometers, and the road's been like this the whole time. It's very windy, very narrow, so you kind of have to mind your P's and Q's around the bends. We actually saw also some cyclists, which me being a newbie cyclist, I definitely would not want to be riding on this road, but it's definitely really, really pretty.
And Mount Edith Cavall is going to apparently give us some views of a glacier that's flowing into a river of some sort, so we can hear it like creaking and cracking, and we hope to see some big iceberg chunks fall off. We think this here is Mount Edith Cavall itself. Here's a glacier there. We've been seeing that as we were winding up the road here, and this is a little bit of melting water coming from the glacier and draining below.
We reached this Mount Edith Cavall lookout point, and this is probably the closest we've got to a glacier on the whole trip, and it's pretty awesome. Like Kristen mentioned before about the blue ice, and you can definitely see it from here. You can see the waterfalls running there from a melting glacier, and yeah, I don't know if the camera does it justice, but it's so epic out here.
And we were just saying this might be one of the last viewpoints of the trip. We leave here tomorrow for Edmonton, and it's pretty much a flat and boring drive on a highway, so we're trying to soak this in today. So we just pulled into the campsite, and here's our rear, what do you call it? I never used one of these before.
Rear view cam.
Rear view cam on the car. And this is the state of Chris's tent.
I can now say I can relate to Katrina victims. My house was destroyed.
This is our last night camping. We have the best fire yet. Justin and Chris split some wood earlier today, so we have some perfect size wood to burn. The only issue is it's pretty windy.
And our tent's flammable.
Yeah.
Alright, well this is our last morning camping. We're off to Edmonton soon, and tent is going down. Excited to see Edmonton, but a little down that camping part of the trip is over.
Do you see that? Justin, just stop.
Get the
my
one in
God.
front of us.
There's one right there crossing in front of the road too. Oh my God.
Bye bye, Moose.
Bye bye.
So the campsite told us it was rutting season, which I guess means rutting season.
Yeah.
So cool. Man. So glad we saw this. It just tells you what,
Hold on, Teague. No. Wow.
Alright, so we finally hit up some Tim Hortons for breakfast. I haven't opened mine yet, but you guys are halfway in.
Yeah, started eating it. Breakfast bagel with sausage and egg and cheese. It's actually really, really good.
I got a bagel with 4 cheese. It's fresh. It's delicious. It rocks.
I got a breakfast wrap, excuse me, with sausage. It's pretty good. Better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Way better than Dunkin' Donuts.
That's awesome.
Tegan, it's a mama and baby.
Finally got to see some goats on the mountain. It's a good climber so far.
Remember how often they fall? Look at it.
Wow.
So they told us they were going to charge us $300. So we are now at a car wash, and we are vacuuming the car out ourselves. Not really in the mood to do this after driving all day, but what can we do? This is White Avenue. This is a popular spot to come for dinner, and I guess for drinks throughout the night. We have come for some takeout food. So it's funny because Boston Pizza is a big chain in Canada. It's everywhere. Well, at least in the cities. And Boston, in my experience, really just doesn't have good pizza. So it's weird that it's Boston pizza and not like New York pizza or Chicago pizza or something like that. I mean, you know, maybe it's good like for chain pizza standards. Like it's probably better than Domino's and Papa John's and all that. But you know, we're pizza snobs. We're from Jersey. This doesn't do it for me. All right, so we're now in Edmonton, and what other thing is there to do in Edmonton other than to go to the West Edmonton Mall? I know at one point it was the largest mall in North America. I don't know if it still holds that title, but we are going. It's a pretty crappy day out, so good day to spend in the mall anyway.
That is so awesome. Chris just said he saw this back by us in New Jersey. I've never seen anything like that.
It's $8 for 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
I thought she was excited for Tegan, not for herself.
I'm excited for both. I want to do this. There's a pirate ship right there. How cool. Aqua massage. It actually looks kind of like it might be a little painful.
I would definitely do it.
This is crazy.
This kid right here keeps looking at the animals' butts and sticking a piece of hay into the animals' butts and then sniffing it and or tasting it.